Every single day, you type website addresses into your browser without giving it a second thought. You open up Google, YouTube, your favorite social media platform, or a company dashboard, and in just a few seconds, a full web page appears right there on your screen. It feels so simple, almost like magic. But behind that simplicity, there's an incredibly complex chain of events happening in mere milliseconds. Understanding this process is one of the most important foundations in networking, system design, and back-end development. So today, let's break it down, step by step, and see what really happens from the moment you press enter. It all starts with a simple action. You type a URL into your browser, let's say, example.com, and you hit enter. Right away, your browser has a problem. Computers don't actually understand domain names like example.com. They communicate using numbers, specifically IP addresses. So the very first question your browser needs to answer is simple. What is the IP address for this domain? To figure that out, the browser kicks off something called the DNS resolution process. First, it checks its own cache. Have you visited this site recently? If so, the IP address might already be stored locally, and the browser can skip the next few steps. Super efficient. But if it's not in the browser cache, the browser asks the operating system. Your OS also keeps its own DNS cache. If the answer still isn't found there, the request is sent out to a DNS resolver. This is usually provided by your internet service provider, or maybe a public service you've set up, like Google DNS or Cloudflare. This resolver then performs a structured, hierarchical search. It starts by asking a root DNS server, which points it in the right direction. Then it asks a top-level domain server, that's the com part. And finally, it reaches the authoritative DNS server for that specific domain. This is the server that holds the official record. Once that authoritative server responds, your browser finally gets the IP address it was looking for. Now, it knows exactly where to send the request. The next major step is to establish a connection with the server at that IP address. To do this, your browser uses a protocol called TCP, which stands for Transmission Control Protocol. A TCP connection is created using a process known as the three-way handshake. It sounds technical, but it's pretty logical. First, your browser sends a request to the server, basically saying, "Hey, I want to connect." The server replies, "I hear you, and I'm ready." Then, your browser sends one last confirmation, and the connection is officially established. This handshake ensures that both sides are synchronized and ready to exchange data reliably, without anything getting lost along the way. Once that connection exists, the browser is ready to send an HTTP request. Now, here's a crucial distinction: HTTP versus HTTPS. If the site uses the older HTTP protocol, all the data is sent in plain text. Anyone snooping on the network could potentially read it. That's not very secure. This is why most modern websites use HTTPS, with the S standing for secure. If the site uses HTTPS, an extra step happens right after the TCP handshake. This is called the TLS handshake. During this process, a few key things happen. First, the browser and server exchange encryption keys. The server also proves its identity to your browser by presenting a digital certificate. This ensures you're talking to the real website and not an imposter. Once all that is verified, a secure, encrypted tunnel is created between your browser and the server. From this point forward, all communication is scrambled and completely private. Now that the secure tunnel is in place, the browser sends its HTTP request to the server. This request contains a lot of information. It specifies the resource it wants, like the main page or a specific image. It also includes headers that describe the browser itself, and it might carry cookies or authentication data if you're already logged into the site. The server, on the other end, receives this request, it processes it, figures out what you're asking for, and gets to work generating a response. This response could be a simple HTML file, or it could be a complex package of information, including CSS files for styling, JavaScript code for interactivity, images, and even data pulled from a database. The server bundles all of this up and sends it back to your browser through that same secure connection. But even when the browser receives the response, its job isn't done. Now it has to actually build the web page. This is the rendering phase. First, the browser starts parsing the HTML file. It reads through the code and builds a structured representation of the page called the Document Object Model, or DOM for short. Think of it as a blueprint for the web page. As it's building the DOM, it encounters links to other files. It sees a CSS file and immediately starts downloading it to apply styles, colors, fonts, and layout. It finds JavaScript files and starts downloading and executing them, which adds all the dynamic functionality to the page. This process might even trigger more network requests. For example, the JavaScript might need to fetch additional data from another server. The browser also fetches all the images, custom fonts, and any other external resources needed to complete the page. Finally, after all that fetching, parsing, and executing, the browser renders everything visually on your screen. It puts all the pieces together, and you see the fully formed webpage you were expecting. And remember, this entire sequence of events happens in a fraction of a second. So, where does a system like Linux fit into all of this? Well, behind the scenes, the vast majority of the servers handling these requests are running on Linux. It's the powerhouse of the internet. Linux is responsible for managing all the critical low-level tasks, handling network connections, allocating memory, scheduling different processes, and enforcing security permissions. The web servers, the databases, the load balancers, and the cloud services that power your favorite websites, they all rely on Linux to handle millions of requests reliably and efficiently, 24/7. So let's quickly recap that entire journey. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. First, you type a URL. Then, DNS resolution translates that domain name into an IP address. Next, a TCP connection is established with the server using the three-way handshake. If it's a secure site, a TLS handshake creates an encrypted tunnel for communication. The browser then sends an HTTP request for the webpage. The server processes that request and sends back a response filled with data TTL, CSS, JavaScript, and more. Finally, your browser receives that data, parses it, fetches all the necessary resources, and renders the complete webpage on your screen. All of this happens so fast that it feels instantaneous. But understanding this hidden process gives you a completely new appreciation for how the internet truly works. It's not magic, it's a masterpiece of engineering. If you found this explanation useful and learned something new today, please give this video a like. Leave a comment with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into system level and networking concepts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.